solve the following questions. To begin with, the first question, okay? This is about taxes. Let's read the question. Which of the following taxes is within the jurisdiction of state as enumerated in list 2 of Schedule 7 of Constitution of India? So let's first understand the meaning of Schedule 7, okay? So what is this Schedule 7 of Constitution of India? So this is basically distribution, or you can say division of power between union government and state, okay? And for that there are three lists. So that is list 1, union. List 2, as asked in the question, is for state, and list 3 is the concurrent list, okay? Now under state, taxes like for example gambling, okay, entertainment, liquor, etc. So these all come under the state or list 2 of the Schedule 7. Now let's go through the options. The first one is taxes on railway freights and fares, of course not. Taxes on sale and purchase of newspaper and on advertisement therein, no. Rate of stamp duty in respect of certain financial documents, no. Taxes on luxuries including entertainments, betting and gambling, definitely yes. So the option is D. So the answer is D. So these all comes under the collection of states, so state power. Next one. Next is about tantamount of absence of taxation. So what is the meaning of tantamount? Anyone think? Right. So tantamount meaning equivalent, equal, same, similar, and many more terms are there. So that means absence of taxation is similar to which of the following? First one is shifting of tax, no. Tax transformation, no. Tax capitalization, no. Evasion of tax, yes. You are not paying tax is equal to absence of taxation. So the answer is evasion of tax. Right. So now moving on to the next question. Which of the following is true? And we are talking about indifference curve, indifference curve, indifference curve, indifference curve. So basically, let's see and try to recall what is our indifference curve and properties. Okay, right. So first of all, indifference curve is what? Indifference curve, basically, it is a graphical representation of what? Satisfaction level, right? After consuming two commodities X and Y, means how many units of X and Y commodities you will be consuming in order to keep your satisfaction level constant. So the first thing is slope of IC, right? So slope of IC is your dy by dx, right? That is change in consumption of X and change in consumption of Y. That is equals to your minus of marginal utility from X by marginal utility from Y, and definitely less than 0. So negatively sloped IC. Second one is about diminishing marginal rate of substitution between X and Y. Now what is marginal rate of substitution? See, in order to consume more of X, you have to sacrifice consumption of Y to remain on the same indifference curve, that is to maintain your satisfaction level. Because if you increase both the consumption, then automatically your satisfaction and utility level will increase and you will not be on the same IC. So in order to remain on the same IC, if your consumption of one commodity increases, the consumption of another commodity must decrease. Now that is your marginal rate of substitution. Then what is the meaning of diminishing substitution? That means the rate at which you are ready to give up y for one extra unit of x, that is decreasing, which means maybe initially for one apple you are ready to give up three oranges, but for the one another, that is the second apple, you are ready to give only two oranges. For the third, that means another extra apple, now you are ready to give up only one apple, orange. So you have started with giving up with three orange, then reduced to two orange, then reduced to one orange. So you can see that the substitution rate is decreasing to remain on the same IC to maintain your satisfaction level. So this is your diminishing MRS, and due to which our IC is convex to origin. Okay, so on same IC, our utility is constant. Next one, higher IC, that is on the right side, implies higher utility, right? So that means if consumption of both the commodities X and Y increases, you will be on the right side of the previous IC, and as you go to the right, that is upwards, that means your utility is increasing. So as you are on a higher IC, so it implies higher utility. Okay, so if you're on the same IC, same utility, and if you are on the higher IC, that is right side, then higher utility. So from here comes our fifth proposition and property, that is 2IC cannot intersect each other, right? Why? Because of course, if you are trying to draw an indifference curve that intersects each other, let me show you. So here is your X and Y axis, right? And you're measuring your X commodity here and your Y commodity here. Now, this is our indifference curve, okay? So say this is your one indifference curve, and now I have drawn another indifference curve that is intersecting this, okay, at this point A. Let's say this is point B, let's say this is point C. Now let's compare. Now if I look at IC1, then BAC is on the same IC. So B is indifferent to A, is different to C. And if I look at IC2, then any point on IC2 in this portion is on the right. So that means here it should be higher utility. Again, the same indifference curve here is below this. So here it should be lower utility. So isn't it confusing? First I'm saying all should be equal. Then there is a point saying higher utility. Then there is a point saying lower utility. So this is absurd and not possible. So this is our another property. Now let's get back to the question. And here the question says different properties of ICs, okay? Number one is about indifference curve slopes downward from left to right. Yes, first one, so correct. Indifference curve slopes downward from right to left. Wrong. Indifference curves are convex to the point of origin of two of them. Correct. Right? Here mentioned. So, right. And indifference curve never intersects each other. Very true. Just now we have seen using the diagram. So, A, C and D. That is only A, C and D is our correct answer. Now, the last question for this video is about LM curve, okay? So let's quickly discuss the slope of LM curve first, okay? What is LM curve and what is the slope of LM curve, okay? Right. Now, LM curve basically describes what it is a combination of your income level Y and interest rate R such that the money market is in equilibrium. So the money market equilibrium means demand for money is equals to supply for money and is determined by income level of a person and the rate of interest. So that means in equilibrium, money demand is equals to money supply, And this money demand is function of income and rate of interest, which should be equal to the money supply, and this money supply is constant given in our economy. So from here we have our slope of LM curve. Now that is dr by dy is equals to minus of Ly by Lr. Now let's see what is our Ly and Lr here. Right. So Y and R, right? So they are related to demand for money. Now Ly means your relation of money demand with income. Now this is positive. So definitely this Ly is positive, and Lr means relation of money demand with rate of interest, which is negative. So definitely this is negative. So this fraction now becomes positive. Hence our LM curve is upward sloping. So that means using this slope, I can figure out the answer to this question asked, right? How? So slope is dr by dy is equals to this, right? Now, when the interest elasticity of demand for money is 0, so we are talking about LR. So according to the question here, LR is 0. That means when this is 0, so this whole fraction tends to infinity, that is slope tends to infinity, which means that my LM curve will look like this. That is vertical and parallel to y-axis. Do we have this in our option? Vertically parallel to y-axis, yes, the first one. So this is the answer. That's it.